She's having technical difficulties.
Put yourself
Assalamu
on do not
alaikum.
disturb.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello,
We are
hello, hello.
live. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
We are live.
We're live. So let me see. We got
Hello, hello,
anybody
hello, hello.
inside here?
Okay.
So at this point, what we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a position for prayer. As we do with all of our broadcasts, we do have one particular person right now. So let's go ahead and open up in prayer so we can get this going. Attention prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. Master of the Day of Judgment. You do we worship, and your aid we seek. Guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom their wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. Amen.
Amen.
Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum salam, Sister Mariam. How are you today, ma'am?
We're doing fine. Doing fine.
Praise is due to Allah.
We got Granny over here on this side. She's having some technical difficulties right now. And this is Sister Monique, the rap star. What's going on?
Mary, you look so nice, Mary. Do you want to just start off by telling our audience what you have on today and your color scheme?
Okay, so my color scheme is a mauve. This is actually a mauve. It's not tan or beige, or it's mauve, and this is burgundy. And so what I did was I put together a collaboration from Crowns by Mahogany. This is a two-piece from our granny here. This is my tam, and I have a high waist, extra long maxi skirt. And of course, I'm only 5'4", so I can bring it all the way up. And my shirt is open. It doesn't have any snaps or anything. So of course, I have to keep it modest, and I have to cover this up. So I have on a real thin scarf here, and I just raised that waistband. The waistband is about this wide, and I just raised it up so I can get a silhouette of it here.
Oh, I like that.
I
like that.
Yeah, and I just dress it up. Found me one of my nice pair of burgundy earrings with some brass.
Are those feathers at the tip? Is it feathers at the tip of the earrings?
Yes, these are feathers, aren't they? Just feathers and chains.
Oh, you did it today. Cover me cute, sis.
Cover me cute. This is what we do. Cover me.
Right.
Cute.
That's right. I really like that. I really like that extra shade of modesty and how you collab with the tam and the waistband. That's really nice. That's a nice modest hack. That's a fashion hack you just did. I like that.
It is. I didn't have to do much. And at first I started to wear my scarf around here because I was concerned about my hair sticking out from the back. It's just it's there. However, it is not. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's standing in the back. It's nice and tamed, and I like bringing my tams to the front with the extra here instead of bringing it to the back because it's just me. Right. I rock how I rock, and everybody do theirs a little different. But I purchased this from our granny here, and so I'm happy that I was able to support my sister and be able to wear this. So what do you have on?
Well, today
I like your denim jacket.
Thank you. Today I'm kind of low key with it. I had a lot going on. Like I was really like up until the second that we aired, I was actually doing like family stuff, like putting the food up, making sure I covered up, make sure the children were straight, telling them to be quiet. So I'm kind of low key today, but I do have on a nice little denim jacket. It's a peplum cut.
Yes.
So it goes around like that, and just a basic cotton scarf head wrapped. I just wrapped it, took me 2 seconds, tucked it in the back, and then with the brown earrings to correlate with the colors and the headpiece. I mean, in the head wrap. And what I want to do is go ahead and give you the floor, Mariam, because I'm actually about to log on to Facebook and let them know that we're live now. So I'll be back with you momentarily. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So assalamu alaikum, sisters. Princess Harvey, thank you for joining our live today. Today's topic is gentle parenting working for you? I really, really, really would like for people to chime in and let us know how they are gentle parenting their children. Is it working for them? What are some things that you do to help get you through the difficult times? Are they tantrums, do you think, or do you have crybabies, unemotional controls? What is it that you do with your child? And I would really like to see who all would be able to chime in on that today. I actually was able to get my presentation, as I promised from the last time, that I would have figured it out by the time we did the next podcast. So I have my presentation. I have it down here. I'm going to wait for Sister Monique to finish introducing her live for the Cover Me Cute cover. And when she comes back, and then we have Sister Granny, it's her turn. You know, last week, guys, I had a difficult time, technical difficulties. And right now, Sister Granny is having some technical difficulties right now with her system. She can't hear us, and that's something that I was having a problem with last week, that my situation was not being heard. So, Granny, you know, we can hear you. We can hear you, but maybe you can't hear us. You want to try to speak or say something?
I don't know what's wrong with it.
We can hear you. So she locked back out. So okay, so um I do have a system of gentle parenting. I have two little ones here. I do have three children biologically. And my oldest child, I did some gentle parenting, but I was still a strict disciplinarian with her. And she grew up fine. She's doing good. She's going on 28 this year. And I have two little ones. I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old also. And this is my extreme gentle parenting case with them. I do some spanking maybe every now and then, but I try not to. I am a yeller. I do get frustrated and I do yell. And I don't know. I don't know sometimes what else I could do. I try to pray. I try to talk to them. My son, he has emotions and he is allowed to display them. I don't tell him to shut your mouth. Don't do that. But when he is in a situation at times, like when he's not feeling well, and he turns into this wimpy little boy. And that irks me, because I'm like, no, we're not having no wimpy little boys. You're going to be a big man, and we're going to learn what to do with these emotions. And for that point, if I have to spank them or pop them, I do so. But I don't slap them in the face or hit them in untactful places. Like, some things, when you can hit a child, it's just abuse. And some of it, you as a grown person, you have to know the difference between abuse and discipline.
Right.
And you have some people that say that they don't physically discipline their children at all. So is that extreme parenting, or is that 100% gentle parenting? What do you do, Sister Monique?
That's an excellent question, Sister Mariam. My husband, he thinks that, well, I will just say soft, or maybe like a pushover, because I really don't hit my children. I really don't like, and if I feel that I need to, I'll go get like an instrument, like a belt. You know what I mean? I don't physically hit my children with my hand. And my husband laughs at me, because when I get the belt, he's like, "What are you doing? Like, you're not even doing anything." But still, my thing is, I don't want to have to use the belt. They know when I get that upset and I go get that belt, they usually go flying, running. Now, I agree sometimes that they do need to be popped. They do need to be hit. They do need to be tapped. And they need to feel that sting or that pain. I personally, I'm just not into hitting my children. I'm just not. Now, sometimes I'll like try to discipline them with words, and I'm not always proud of myself for the word choices that I use. And I think it was last episode, one of our followers wrote in the comments. They said, or maybe it wasn't. I can't remember where I read this at, but they said, like, if my son, he cries a lot. Deke, he's very, very sensitive. He takes after me. He cries about everything. So instead of calling him a crybaby, I would say, come on now, be the king that you know that you are, Sadiq.
Mm-hmm.
Be the prince that you know that you are. You know, you don't have to cry and things like that. So even when they're in their state of emotion, still trying to first calm myself and build them up at the same time. Now, if it gets too out of hand, I call my husband and all he has to do is roar. That's it. And then they
Mm-hmm.
straighten up just like that. I'm like, how come they won't do that for me? You know, because as female lioness, we have a roar too now. But it's like they overlook my roar. And his roar is so dominant. It's just like he be scaring me sometimes. And I'll be like, why you gotta say it so mean? Then he be like, okay, so now I'm mean, right? He said, you
Mm-hmm.
asked me to handle this situation, but now I'm the mean one. So I tend to actually not hit my children. I tend to try to talk to them more, but I will threaten them and I will tell them that I will get the belt or I'll call your dad. Then they'll act straight. They'll straighten up and fly right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
And so it's something about the woman, the female, and I'm not gonna say that it's disrespect or a lack of authority that they don't acknowledge, but it's something about that man. It's
mm-hmm.
something that that man do that they listen.
Yeah.
They get straight into attention
Oh
about
yeah.
that man. You
Yes, they
know,
do.
I mean, and I do the same. Sometimes I'll go and get a belt, or if they, no, you know what? It's not even so much as the belt. If I move a particular way,
Mm-hmm.
if I move fast,
Yeah.
like I'm getting ready to get up,
Yep.
oh, they gone. You hear
Yep.
me? They are gone, right? Don't let me
Mm-hmm.
get something, you know, and then they gone. But I also use this method. I use the countdown method, and I go to,
Oh,
if
okay.
I have to get to 5, and I got to a point to where now I don't even say the numbers anymore. I just hold my finger up and I make sure that they see my finger. I'm on 1.
Mm.
I'm on 2. When I get to 3, the whole situation has already started to change. If I make it to 4, we already know that there's a problem.
Right. Right.
There's no stopping me at 5. Daddy can't save you. Grandmama can't save you. Jesus can't save you because I'm on you at that time.
Yeah.
And my husband will tell me, he said, yeah, you know, sometimes you just threaten them too much. Sometimes you have to whoop them.
Yeah.
And, I heard Minister Farrakhan say, it's okay to discipline your children. Just don't hit them while you're mad.
Right.
You know, if you want, if you like, let me get a second here and acknowledge the ones that we have here that are leaving comments. Princess Harvey, assalamu alaikum. Sister Michelle Beckwith, Asa sisters, I'm here. Walaikum salam. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming
Thank
back.
you.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
both of
you.
you so much.
Yes.
Sister Michelle wrote a comment. She said the minister said a slap on the butt sends a message to the brain.
That's right. All praises
Yes,
due
it
to Allah.
does.
Yes.
And so she says, my dad used to say a man has more discipline in his voice than a woman has in her whole body. That's what it is.
That
It's that
explains it.
voice.
That
That's that.
explains it. Thank you, Sister Michelle.
Yes. So I don't know, Granny. Can you what you got to say? I
Can you hear
think
me?
we can hear you. Yeah, we can
Yes.
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? Okay,
Yes.
great. So, Malaikum, I'm
Walaikum
happy you
salam,
guys
ma'am.
can hear me. I've been listening the best I can with my little cheap computer. One day, I'll have a nice new one. Maybe I'll put that on my list for y'all. Lucky I didn't beat the hell out of you. Give me a new computer. No. Gentle parenting. I raised gangsters. I'm sorry. I was in the middle of the hood. That wasn't nothing gentle about me to be gentle. I was nice. I wasn't the one that did the whoopings though. I mean, I literally went, I'm gonna get your daddy. And that was all he had to say. I'm gonna get your daddy. I mean, you know, my dad would threaten us with her. I'm gonna get your mom. And we were scared as all outdoors. I mean, we laughed at him. He ain't gonna do nothing. He go, but my mama, oh Lord, you getting your tail knocked. I think I look good because I done missed a couple weeks. I was knocked in a couple weeks earlier many times. She said, I'm gonna knock you the next week. I think I made it there a couple times. But me, no, I was not the disciplined person until I had to become that person. But by that time, my boys were almost teenagers, so it was a whole different ballgame. It wasn't a belt to pull out on a teenager. No, they were looking at you like, who is this? And what you gonna do with that lady? Because we're the same size as you. Really? You think you'll spank us with a belt? So my discipline became different. You know, I had to find different things. As a grandmother now, I'm gonna say I know you need discipline, but I feel we need have a more calm aspect about yourself, because I explain to my children and they laugh at me. Why you wasn't like this when you was growing up? Well, I understand children now a little better. I understand that you're like an alien and you just emerged to earth and you don't know nothing. You're just a strange, weird, like the man said, you're a wild animal. And yet sometimes you have to tame the wild animals. I'm not gonna say that because I can't sit and talk to a lion and me and a lion gonna conversate. He's gonna be swiping at me. But I do believe that there are times that you do have to learn how to balance your energy and your emotions. Mm-hmm. But if I have to tell you 10 times in Ralph's grocery store to stop touching on people's stuff, I do have a purse belt. Mind your business. I do. I don't buy a purse unless it has a little belt inside of it. I don't even buy it. No, that purse ain't for me. Because that's my little, we call it the act right button. And then my other grandbaby calls it the enforcer. Granny finna bring out the enforcer. So if I have to enforce the rule, with me now is they're a little bit older, so I do say I'm gonna get your grandpa. But with our grandchildren, I can honestly say I haven't had to spank my grandchildren. Now with my own children, yes, I had to inflict the enforcer more than 1 or 2 times. Do they need therapy? That's their business. I don't know. I'm quite sure we all need some therapy, but other than that, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna pass it back to you guys. All my children say that I have inflicted mental anguish on them, so. Wow. Maybe one day we'll get a Groupon therapy session and we all sit up and on the couch together. But until now, you better figure it out. I did the best I could do.
So, I had a situation with my oldest child, and when I thought gentle parenting was okay, it's like, they get gangsta on you. And she really tried. She tried. You hear me? Like, she shoved me with her shoulders walking past me one time. And I think I knocked the air out of her chest that one time, and she woke back up. Like, you see these TikToks, where, something happened and then they come back through on the video camera and then they be like, and the man is standing over the child, be like, yeah, okay. You must have lost your mind for a minute. It ran away. So look, come on here. Let me help you up. I mean, I really had to go through one of those kind of situations, but later down the line, I had to explain to her, like, that's that one opportunity in life that I have to check. Because if I don't check that now, you will grow up thinking that it's okay. Now, even at this point right now, like, she still got a little mouth on her, but she got mouth on her when she on the phone. You understand? She got that mouth on her when she's on the phone. Yes, in my presence, though, I don't have that situation. She might come around me and her face is turned up or, turned down or whatever. But the mouth, I only hear it on the phone. Very seldom ever hear it in a text message, but it's more so on the phone. And it's some of it is her just being kind of snappy. And I have to say to myself, she's going through that transition in her life, and everybody is an issue except her. When you get to a certain age in your life, you just like, can't nobody tell me nothing, but you the only problem yourself. You understand? So she's kind of in one of those transitions. And so I try to be understanding to that, because now at this point I have 2 other children that I have.
How old is your oldest?
She's 28. Okay. She'll be 28 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a big number. She'll be 28 this year. Yes. And then so I have the 2 little ones that, the conflict has to be executed between me and my husband. Well, we have to make sure that he and I are together, because they will burn both ends of the candle. Sometimes they double team on you. You can hear their little squeaky voices. One is trying to convince the other one to do something, and the other one is saying, no, we shouldn't do that because we might get in trouble. And the other one say, no, we're not gonna get in no trouble. She's not gonna say nothing. I'm finna go in here and finna get 2 pieces of candy. And I'll be like, you better not get no candy. Mommy, you heard me. I absolutely did. Something about these ears, we tune in. Mm-hmm. We can tune in real good, but something about them is, we have to just make sure that that our gentle parenting is good. I want you to speak, and then I want to go ahead and do I have a 5-minute presentation that I want to share with everybody. We have 7 people here. Ma'am, I need to have to kill one of your lives. Sister got too many microphones.
I think that was me. Sorry.
Go ahead, Sister.
Oh no, Mary. I said what I had to say. You can go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, so
I hear an echo. I hear an echo though.
Sister Granny. Yeah, we have an echo. Sister Granny, you on here? You have 2 presentations. You're in the feed 2 times. You might have to kill one of them.
Kill one of them. That's probably why we have an echo.
So you want, Mariam, you want to explain what's the presentation?
It's about a father that is doing gentle parenting to his daughter, who was cutting up in the store with mama.
Okay.
Well, I want to show this presentation and how he handled it. And I think he did very well. You know, he was. I'm not going to tell it, but I'm going to read Sister Michelle's 2 comments. She says, I have 8 children. I only whipped one of them for the oldest, and he's the one who gets out of control. The whooping didn't change him at all. And you got some of them, they're able to take that butt whooping, you know. And she also said, did you have the child when you were 2? I'm not sure I understand. It said, did you have the child when you was 2? Sister Mariam, because you looking real. Oh, yeah. Did I have it when I was 2? I get it. No, praise be to Allah. Thank you very much for the comment. No, I did not have it when I was 2. I was in my 20s, though. So I was grown.
She said not a
teenage child. She was not a teenage child. So she'll be 28 in October. And I have 2 little ones. I completely started over. I'm going to say about 21, 22 years into this. I started over when I got married.
We always
started over again.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes. Okay, so give me a second and let me try to do this presentation to all the 7 people right now that are watching our live. Thank you for visiting. I am getting ready to start my presentation. So bear with me for just a second and let's see what we can get going on. I finally got something to present this time. I'm so excited about this, y'all.
Yay.
Wow, she's presenting
so hard.
New sets of children.
There it is. I worked so hard to get this done.
Go ahead.
Yay. Here we go. Ready? Daddy is so unbothered.
You done? Sound like you're still whining to me. You gonna listen in the store? You gonna stop whining? You gonna stop screaming? You gonna listen? Because everybody see you acting a fool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking you back into Walmart until you stop with your mess.
No, he's not a Muslim.
Back in the store,
and he will say some curse words. So
if we go back in the store, you do it again. We're coming back out and sitting down. And I ain't moving until I want to move. And I don't have to move. We don't have to walk around the store with your mom. That's a privilege. See, when you spoil the hell out of your kids, this is what happens. And see, that's our fault for being raised as ghetto kids and never having anything. But see, people don't know how to tell their kids no, even though they was spoiled or not spoiled. I don't care if you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. Don't put one in your child's mouth because this is what happens. And then when you have to be stern and they don't like it because they spoiled, this is what they act like. I'm okay with the kids screaming in Walmart. What I'm not okay with is them not stopping when I tell them to. So we can be bored out here in this lovely old parking lot until Miss Ari Reese wants to stop screaming her head off. Spoiled kids walk around Walmart with tablets and phones. It's cool if it keeps them occupied, but they can't be watching what they're not supposed to be watching. That's Miss Ari's problem.
Oh, bless his heart. We don't
tens of thousands of.
No, we don't need no phones and tablets in Walmart. You're not gonna mess up my Walmart trip, Miss Thing. You gonna sit your tail in this basket. Let's throw this stuff in here and go home.
I got 3 seconds on this commercial, so I'm gonna let it play real quick, so we can get to the rest.
Customers wrote about Carvana being easy in their 5-star reviews.
I don't have what
the
you
whole
call
process
that
was really simple.
Supreme YouTube.
This is my 3rd time selling
premium.
So I got commercial.
I'm not raising my kids be like that. I hope you ain't raising your kid be like that. You can have all the amenities, but we're not doing that in my household. Don't care. They will listen, and they will be made to listen, or they will get in trouble. I don't beat my kids. My mom beat the hell out of me. I don't do that to my kids. I take stuff from them. I make them sit down. I look at them in their face and tell them I'm not bothered by it. I'm grown. I'm not. Baby, they just 3. They only 2. He just 12. He just a kid. So they don't learn by you teaching who they gonna learn by. We buy the stuff that they get. We take it away from them when they don't deserve it. You don't throw a fit in Walmart and then you get praise for it. Sometimes you got to deal with your kids screaming in Walmart, and that's okay, but not like that. We ain't doing all that. We ain't doing all that. Are you done? Are you sure you done? Wipe your face like a big girl and get all the stress off your face. Wipe it all off. Get all the stuff off. Because you're a big girl, huh? You a big girl? That's right. You tough? You tough? You gonna suck it up and make it get better? You're not gonna get better?
You ain't
You're
lying.
not gonna suck it up?
No.
You're not going back in Walmart then?
It's all right.
You want to go back in Walmart? Then you have to suck it up and act like you got some sense and like you got two parents at home that tell you how to act. You understand me? Do you understand me? You gonna stop? Look what you're doing to your pretty face. You're making it all red and wet and snotty. Yeah, I'd look like that too. Like, I'm still cute, but still. Are you gonna stop with your mess? Because if you don't, we're coming back out here, aren't we? Aren't we? I'm gonna be sitting on this car. No whooping involved. This is how you get your kid to act right. You sit him on the car or you sit him next to something that's nothing. No beating, no yelling, no screaming. I might yell at home. I have to. I'm at home. I can do that at home. But I ain't got to do all that. I ain't about to argue with no 3-year-old kid, no 2-year-old kid, no damn kid. I'm the daddy. I'm grown. We about to sit down until you stop acting the fool, the child. Mommy gonna be shopping, complaining about whatever she complaining. She ain't complaining, but at the time, I'm not dealing with no screaming ass kid. My dad always took us to the car if we didn't act right and sat there and gave us the death stare. Like, if you say something, I'm gonna whoop you. I just tell my kids, we ain't going back in the store until you stop screaming. They can sit screaming on the car outside in the public. Oh, now you happy?
Oh, bless his heart. I wish I would.
Good job, Marianne, for figuring that out. Good job, sis. So proud of you.
I'm so proud of myself. I got the presentation this time. Can you imagine all this time I've been trying to present almost every episode, and what we are 14 now, and I finally got it.
Yay! Oh, praises due to Allah.
Let's go back.
How did you like that?
We're not about to sit up in no parking lot in Walmart, you screaming and hollering. No, no, ma'am. All this conversation, that's a lion. You out there trying to have a conversation with a lion swiping at you. You better get you the lion tamer. Don't be sitting there going, lion, you stop all that swiping and you say, no. I bought the purse. You got the little piece that come apart. I ain't gonna hit you hard, but when my children knew if you saw it, you know. Lion tamer time. Wow. I had to beat you. I didn't have to scream at you all the time. Lion tamer time. I'm wild. And the Bible even tell you, spare the rod, what? Spoil the child. You don't have to beat your children to death to get them to understand. You don't. But you should have a level of understanding to where I am the adult. And I'm not, my mama ain't never had to walk us up out no store. We knew better. You got that look that where she had them looks. Like, you must forgot my name is. Let me remind yourself. Let me reintroduce myself to you. My name is Hove. She reminded me real fast. I'm not about, And if they sent us to the car, oh no, ma'am. We didn't get to walk back in. You was done for.
Right. You was almost dead by that time.
You was begging that. I hope, God, please, Jesus, if you ever love me, let her forget that I was in the Fedco acting a fool. Don't let her remember that me when I get out of this house. Because I don't got enough underwear to put on that's going to save me from that whooping. That's going to keep the pain from coming away. No. These children they have too much too. For some reason, our generation felt that we had to give them what we didn't get. So we have created these little monsters who feel that they're entitled and they should have. And that's the problem I know with the 90s babies. I know my children were like that. I had to remind them Disneyland is a privilege. It's not something I'm supposed to do. Jordans are a privilege. I don't have to, as long as you got shoes on your feet. Food is what I'm to do. Food, shelter, and clothing. Anything past that is because I love you. Nintendos and all that was not my mandatory. It was not mandatory. It's because I loved you. I just felt I wanted to give you something nice, but it wasn't a mandatory. But now these new children, they feel you're supposed to give them things. No. I have one of those new children. We have one of these new spoiled little things that we have created. I have one of those new ones. These 2000 babies.
Granny just. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
we hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
A whole different ball game. I'm sorry that we all have new love children. We got to start all over again. But maybe God felt we needed something to do. We was getting bored. I wasn't that bored.
Okay.
I understand.
Girl.
Okay. They needed something to do. We be almost overwhelmed with these little ones. Like, can you go sit down, please? Every 3 seconds. And I don't want the hugs and the kisses to ever stop. But every 3 seconds, I need a break. I'm overstimulated. You have, you know what they say about the cats, the reason why cats be scratching and biting on you and stuff, because cats are very sensitive and people want to pet them all day because they cute and they furry and they, they purr. But you can overstimulate a cat and the cat will literally attack you because you're giving it too much attention. Leave that cat alone. Leave the cat alone. I don't want the hugs and kisses to stop. But every 3 seconds, like, I need a hug. I want a kiss. And then I be looking at my son like, do you ever want a hug and a kiss? He'd be like, yes. And then he'll get up and give me one, and then he'll go back to, he just dismissed me. I was like, okay, I'm cool. We good. Fist bump, we good. He'd be like, yeah, we do this thing. Like, yeah. I'd be like, okay, well, whatever that is. I'm down for it. Yes, ma'am. But I really appreciate, even though she was young and that was his form of gentle parenting, he used the word spoil, which, as he said, I'm not going to argue with no child, and it's us that are spoiling them. So what's the difference? I want to ask a question for you all. What's the difference between spoiling your child and gentle parenting to you?
Good question. Go ahead, Monique. You got some.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I'll go first. Well, actually, spoil. I really don't like that term, because if something is spoiled, that means it's no good, or it's rotten, or needs to be thrown out. I believe in rewarding my children, not by necessarily giving them gifts like PlayStations and tablets and stuff like that, but rewarding them by teaching them something, maybe taking them somewhere to like a museum or to a library to get their favorite book, or something that will leave a lasting good impression on them, something that they can walk away with learning something, or a skill they obtained. Something like giving them like a PlayStation or a game or something, I believe that can be accomplished, say, if they do good all year and don't get in trouble in school. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem at the end of the school year buying you a tablet or a decent pair of tennis shoes that you like that may cost a little bit more than what the average that normally I can afford, because I believe in giving them something that they can work for. And ultimately, once they work, we all deserve to have some type of enjoyment. Just like the minister said, if you just constantly, if somebody working for you, they working for you, and you're not really giving them no money, then that's setting yourself up. But if you making money and you break them off something, they're going to go a little bit harder for you the next time. And that's how I try to teach my children, like, everything is not going to be given to you, but Allah will bless you for your hard works. And blessings are always not money. They're not always something that's tangible. It could be a good word that saved your life. It could be somebody you teaching you how to do something where it's saving your company money, or anything like that. So I do believe in gentle parenting, depending on the child. It's individual, and I believe that parenting is also personal. But the word parenting, it goes beyond just a slap or a punch or discipline. It's a whole element to that. So a lot of people just want to talk about, oh, well, I got the stick, I'm going to beat them, go get a twitch. But sometimes them intimate conversations is really what's needed, because a lot of times our children, they want to be right. They want to make us proud. They want to do the right thing. But what if they're not sure what the right thing is? Then that parenting comes in. Me as a mother, okay, so Ray, I'm going to sit you down. Like, for instance, I'm going to pass the mic to Granny, but on our 7 units, one of the units that I really need to work on is sewing. So I told my daughter, Saray, I said, listen, we're going to learn how to sew, and we're going to do it together. Don't be looking at mommy to be able to teach you this because I don't know it. We gonna learn together. And she got so excited, so excited. So now we're working on getting the sewing machine. You know, I know it don't have to be brand new, but I'm working on getting me a sewing machine. And me and my daughter, we gonna learn how to sew. We gonna do it together. And that's something that she's interested in. That's me rewarding her. And at the same time, child, was me learning and she learning, and we bonding. So that to me is all wrapped up in parenting. And a lot of times when we give our children something to do, they won't be out there misbehaving and acting up and acting crazy. You know, so when we on that sewing machine, Granny gonna teach us how to sew. We on that sewing machine. So Rhea not gonna be thinking about her tablet. She's not gonna be thinking about watching them crazy YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? What she gonna start doing? She gonna start YouTubing children that's sewing. That's what she's gonna do, and then she's gonna start teaching her little brother. But all that's wrapped into to parenting. I'm more so on the gentle parenting side. That's because that's just how I am, and my children don't really need all that hard discipline like that. But I believe it does go by the individual.
I have the new set of children. How can I say it? My new baby. I have all my older ones are grown, and the grown ones, they all have their own little mental problems that they may have, because at my age, my young age, tender age of having them young, we were all growing up mentally together. And this is what I explained to them. When you're 19 and pregnant, you know, now people are younger, but 19 is a young, tender age. It's an age to where at 20, I don't even know me. I don't know anything about life on a level. I don't even understand how to function properly.
Teach, Granny.
Having you at 20 was me and you growing up together. I have children. My children and my son are that age level. So it's almost like me. I was your big sister. So, but I had the mother role. Did I understand how to calm myself at 20? No. Because at 20, I'm still wild myself. I still should have been up under someone else's care and then her tame the lions. I shouldn't have been there. But not saying that Allah didn't have something in plan for me to have my children this level. I don't regret not one of my little munchkins, but I do know that a wiser mind, if my mind was wiser at the time and I was more settled, would I have had all the screaming? No. Was I punching and socking people? Not today with teenagers. I ain't gonna lie. I did punch one of them in the chest because he jumped in my chest. But was I, now as I have the new baby, I call it the new generation baby. This one is my son also has special needs, but my son is completely he understands everything. If you met Neo, you wouldn't believe that he
praise me to Allah.
But Neo can get you, and Neo still needs discipline. But now at my age, I understand things now. I'm more tolerable to where I can talk to you. And my gentle parent, no, Neil knows when I do raise my voice, and it's not Neil. That's why you don't hear me. I'm water in the middle of the night. But it's to where he goes, this one, we obviously can look at this one, and I don't have to threaten his life. I can look at him, and he goes, ooh. Them other ones, yes, I did have to threaten their life. Because why? I was a little wilder. They were wilder. They didn't understand, and I didn't understand. So like I tell them, in my infancy, I made a lot of mistakes. Were my mistakes purposely? No. They were things that we were both growing together, understanding together. And I was trying to figure out this world as I also had younger people that was attached to me to help to figure it out together. I totally commend people who have their children and they waited and they understand how to properly nurture and guide their children. I totally commend you. Not saying that you don't know what God may give you. He may at the age we had them young. Not saying it was wrong or right, but I do know that once we at a certain age, mental state and our mind state is more receptive to be able to raise properly the gods that we're given. We'll see it. Now, do I say that we don't? When you require me to show you because you weren't understanding please go sit down.
That part.
My grandchildren are highly intelligent. I mean, and I have one of those little pandemic babies, highly intelligent. But there comes a time to when after the third, ma'am, no ma'am, really, for real, ma'am, you didn't hear me the first 3 times. With the 2-year-old, I do go sit in the corner. That drives her crazy. Go stand in the corner, ma'am. Put your hands in the air. and that don't last long. 30 seconds, and she, Granny, I thought we okay. Come on. But the older ones, I see now that I have to still remind them that I'm the adult, because these new ones now, they are a little more. Their attitudes are a little more feisty or younger. I'll say that, because my 10-year-old granddaughter will try you. She'll look you right in your eye and tell you, bruh. Wow. Oh, ma'am, not bruh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, excuse me, who's bruh?
Right.
Or Granny, yeah, okay, let's figure it out real fast, you know. Like I said, these have a more, they're super highly intelligent, and they're more in touch, and they're not as wild. I think it's because they have so much in the palm of their hands too. Our children in the 90s they didn't have the world in the palm of their hands, to where they could hit a button and ask any question and find out the depths of the universe with a button being pushed. You know, they actually had to feel like we do. We had to go in and plumb the world. We had to go dig in the books and find these things out. But everything now is so quick and given to them so fast, so they move differently. But she said something now she takes away. With these, I've realized that I can take away and they'll find something else to do. They'll create something else to do. And sometimes taking away meant, like my grandbabies, their dad took all their tablets. And one of them, he got so mad he took the tablet and he literally just broke it in half. But they found ways to tie all their bed sheets to the bed and swing from the bed sheets. So, like I said, they're super highly, you have to, and I told him, I said, you know,
always doing something.
They're always into something. So I'm learning that if I keep their minds and their hands extremely busy on something that's past their level of understanding, people, you know, with the way understanding, but that's not, they're super highly intelligent. If I keep their hands busy, I have less drama. So everyone has, this summer, everyone will learn a marketable skill, and everyone's going to start a business. Why? Because I'm putting your mind past what they say you should do at your age, and I'm gonna keep you busy. And if I keep you busy, it keeps me less stressed, with you to keep me off your backside.
That's right.
You have those ones too that when you try to keep them busy, they keep you busy because you have to constantly keep telling them what to do and how to do it, as if they didn't understand the instructions. You're like, okay, you know, my grandson, I would take him and make him stand in the corner. Or, you know, I had to, but it got to a point to where it didn't matter what corner I put him in. He was doing stuff like he would pick the paint off of the wall. So then I take him and tell him, make him go stand on the stairs, go to this corner in the stairs. And then I see his name written in the windowsill. I'm like, dude, did you really just write your name in my window? Like, you know, or you tell him to go over here and then you start seeing alphabets, you know, and then you're like, okay, you know what, just go in your room. And then when they go in the room, he picked the stuffing from out of the bed. And I'm sitting myself like, you're bored. Something is really just not, you know, you need something to do. And then so I started making him go outside. And then it seemed like when I made him go outside, it was okay. But then something in him, it seemed like he was, you know, I don't know if he was trying to harm my son. I don't know what that was, but it was like, you know, sometimes he gets this thing in him where he feels like he needs to be the whole center of attention. And, you know, so he's doing all type of stuff. And I'm like, baby, that's not the right kind of attention. You know, you can get attention, but you don't need that kind. Like, don't try to hurt somebody or have me to get on your case for hurting him, you know, because you want some type of attention. And when I would take him to the mosque and stuff, sometimes, you know, my captain will be like, he just wants some attention. He wants all grandma attention. That's all it is. And I'm like, but he can't have all my attention because I got a baby too, you know, and that's sometimes that's the problem. But as far as the gentle parenting, man, it could be overwhelming if, you know, you really don't get a grip on it. Because I know I've talked to y'all sometime. They're like, man, I'm scratching my head. Not right now. I'm overwhelmed because sometimes I feel like I'm taking on the world inside my home, and I'm trying not to strangle one of them basically, because you don't want, you know, you really have to have control of yourself because they try you, you know, like didn't I just tell you 5 times to stop? But then, like, my husband, he'll be like, why are you yelling? We're like, because you didn't hear me. I'm yelling now because I said it 3 times. I said it 4 times. I said it 5 times already. Yeah, but if you had to say it that many times, then instead of you yelling, you should have just got the belt. And I'm like, okay, I understand, but I'm still not there at that point where I want to get the belt. You know, say, well, that's the reason why you yelling. And you know, be like, oh, well, you know, I'm only yelling because you didn't hear me the first 3 times. They heard me. You know, they heard me. You didn't, but they did. So I have to find other ways of dealing with him. Because I don't want to do like Sister Michelle is saying, you know, be savage, because that's what the white men, that's what they did to us. You know, when they had us in bondage, they beat us. They beat us into submission. They beat us into, you know, doing any and everything that they wanted us to do. They beat us, and we ended up making the United States, making this world the way that it is right now. And yet still they continue to beat us. They just found another way of doing it and policing us, you know. And so, you know, they have been savage, and then they try to make us feel like the only way for us to be right, even amongst ourselves, is for them to continue to keep beating us. But I think that that's a learned behavior that gets taught from generation to generation to generation. Some of the beatings, because some people are actually abusing, you know, and you have some people that have traumatic issues. Like, I'm gonna say I probably got beat, you know. I was probably, I'm going to say I got beat, you know. However, some of the things that happened to me as a child, I don't ever want to put that on them, you know, because I don't know where their mind is going to be when they get older. Some children, when they get older, they get suicidal. They get, you know, they have trauma bonds with people. They don't know how to have good relationships with people. They think that the only way someone is going to love them is to be physical with them. Like, at some point in time, you had some woman that felt like in order for her to have a good relationship, that man had to slap her or had to do something to her. But where did she get that concept? You know, where did she get that concept? You know, and most girls have a tendency to love their fathers a little bit more, even though they love mommy, but they are always daddy's baby sometime, right? So what happened with that relationship where she felt like that's the only way she was able to get attention and get the love? You know, did she get attention and love that way? You know, and so it just goes on, and sometimes that can be a vicious cycle. So my gentle parenting, I'm not gonna say, the question is gentle parenting working for you?
Not, you know,
it works when it has an opportunity to work.
But we feared our parents like we feared God.
I know I fear my mother.
I know, that's right.
And if people say, well, that's not good, well, you know what? We knew how to act.
Yeah, that part.
But the new generation have no balance of who God is. That was something that was instilled in us from a young age, to where we were instilled on, you fear God, and then you feared your parent after you feared God, because mother was the first God you met. So you and fear her because you feared her, what she would do to you. But now these new children don't even have a fear of God, because they haven't been trained who God is, to know that you can be punished. So I mean, I still believe in, if I don't give you a certain type balance, you're going to be in these streets, you're going to be crazy. My mom used to say, I'm going to beat you so the police don't beat you. Hey, did it work? Well, the police ain't ever beat me, knock on wood. But the thing is just that they have to know and have a balance of who God is. I remember we read years ago, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, by 10 your children should be praying. If they don't want to pray, you beat them to pray. Why? He said, because you should teach them how to pray. He was even in our mind at a young age, we woke everyone up out of the bed. Everyone was up at 5 a.m. You learn to pray. Prayer could be what has saved them from a lot of the actions that they had, because they had to fight in this world to survive where we lived, in the area that we were in. So the understanding and the balance of knowing who God is was much even more detrimental than mommy coming with that belt.
That's right, sis. Come on.
This is what we have to get back to. Get back to your children knowing who God is. Have a fear of God. Understanding who He is and why He is, and what can happen to you if you disobey Him. So we have to get back to understanding too. It's not that you beat the hell out your children, but if he says spare the rod, spoil the child, then I'm not about to sit in front of Walmart and let you holler for 20 hours. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not built that way. I may take my little watch band out of my purse belt, and I'm gonna give you a nice little remind you that this ain't going down. I'm still the boss.
Yeah, and I
keep a belt in my car.
I
it's
believe,
one in my car.
like in situations like that, since we are MGT and GCC, I believe that since we all are well trained, I believe that we would take our child into the bathroom, or if I'm going outside, I'm gonna take you inside the car. I'm gonna light you up so good. I'm gonna light you up. You're gonna calm down, and then we're gonna go back into Walmart like nothing never happened. You know what I mean? Because we should not, I believe that we should not be disciplining our children in public like that. If we gotta lay hands on them, don't do that in public, because now you're putting yourself in a situation where you could be brought up on charges. You know what I'm saying? Or, you do that in the privacy of your own home. We're supposed to be training and correcting our children at home. So when we go out in Walmart, they won't be acting like a fool. Not saying they did not. But in situations like that, you go in private. And I hate to see Black women correcting their children, or so-called correcting their children in public and yelling at them, calling them out their name, laying hands on them in public. That is so uncivilized. No matter if the child deserves it or not, you are the mother. You take charge, because everybody's looking at you. I hate to see that. I cringe every time I see that. I be like, man, that sister, she need to go to MGT and GCC class. I be saying that, and I be wanting to walk up to them and be like, introduce myself, but I don't do all that. But I'm just saying, in my mind, I be wanting to. I be like, sister, don't do that, because you making me look bad. But as Black women. Go ahead, Granny.
Discipline and abuse are two different things.
Yeah.
And this is where people get it mixed up. We feel that just because we were disciplined, we were abused. No, all the time you weren't abused. Because if we sit back and think, like I tell my sons now, sit back and think on some of the hell you put me through. Well, it didn't warrant me to give you some of what you got. My mom used to do certain things to where she said, I saved your life. I was saving your life. What if people think, oh, well, let them touch it and let them figure it out? No, children are not meant to learn how to figure out and navigate in this world without us. That's why they're given to an adult. And so you can help them to navigate and understand what is going on. Do I believe that, like Sister said, she was beaten so much she left, not her to probably discipline her children? Well, you know what, sis, I'm going to say this. Once again, I said, from our age and our understanding, we were not mentally ready, because we still had our minds in this devil's world. But when you cross over and you understand the true knowledge of the living God, his Christ and his divine messenger, and you understand who you are, you move differently. Your children are now birthed differently, to where you don't have to discipline them on that level. Look at your children in the 90s, even though you probably was here in the nation, but think of your mindset compared to your children you had in 2000s, when your mind was different. Your thoughts were different. You ate differently. You moved differently. You maneuvered differently. People around you were not even in your atmosphere. Your new set of children don't move like the old ones, because you were different.
Come on.
That's the reason why our children are the way they are. I tell my children all the time, Grandma, I set my life down by the grace of Allah, so my grandchildren can see a different side of life. Because we were blessed. My grandmother took care of 13 of us every day. Never saw her call out once and say, I'm sick, they can't come over today. Never. We all were there until we went to junior high school, some even high school. She fed us twice a day, because, it was breakfast. We ate breakfast, lunch, we were gone. We came back from school, we had lunch again, which called dinner. She never missed not feeding us anything. But she showed us discipline and love and a structure. Because you know what happens? We work now. We have to work. And because we had to work, our children became a fluster to us, because we didn't know how to separate ourselves from this devil, all of the hell that he inflicted on us. So we came home, we were tired, we were stressed out. So I sat all down by the grace of Allah, to where my grandchildren can come home to someone that's not stressed out.
And praise be to Allah.
She's not tired. She has a different mindset of mental, to where something your mother can't give you, but I can see it in someone that does love me, and it'll help my mom to see how to deal with us at a different level. And we're a little more Tamer, when we do go home to this woman that's stressed out, that's been working them 8 hours like you had to do when you were young.
Come on, Granny.
Yeah.
I'm just running my mouth, y'all. But this is what I do understand. That's why he says how to give birth to a God. But if we really listen to it, we're not just giving birth to a God. We're giving birth to the God that's in ourselves too.
Say that again. That's deep. We're not giving birth to a God. We're giving birth to the God within ourselves.
Because if you remember our class, how to take care of your husband. Everybody, I'm not coming to class. I don't take care of that nigga. He can do himself. And if you actually came to class, the class had nothing to do with him.
Nothing. Now that is true. It had everything to do with us. Come on.
The book is so the title. If people see the front of the book,
to deal
that was
with
so deceptive.
You set the tone.
That's right.
That's why we were frustrated mothers. So you got a frustrated ass. Well, excuse me. Well, you got a tail whooping. That's what happened. I'm sorry, y'all. That little whoop. I got.
That's okay. It's all right.
Mama crept up out of it. Okay. But you got your butt whooped because I was tired and I was frustrated and I was not in my right God spirit and God mind.
That's right.
Now, this is where I can see the difference in you when you talk to your babies. I watch you, and I watch how you talk to your babies when we're on the line and with each other. And your children move differently compared to the ones you tell me about them older ones who are we done burn holes in prayer rugs praying for them still because they're adults. Compared to these new ones move a little different because why? They have a whole different God woman sitting in front of them.
That's right.
Come on.
Well, sister, I was beaten with belts, washing machine hoses, blackjack, so that's why I was beaten. I never did anything too bad to justify all that. Once again, sis, our mothers were tired.
Wow.
And they were frustrated because I can bear witness. I used to watch my mom come home, and I thank a lot for my grandmother because it allowed us to remove all that craziness out of us and all that energy before we made it home to her. But she was tired.
Now, Sister Michelle, I want to say I understand what you're saying when you said, I never did anything that bad to justify all that. And with the understanding of the statement, again, we have to tell you that there's a difference between discipline and abuse.
Yes.
And nothing can justify abuse. And you have some parents that don't know the difference because of how they were raised. You have some parents, all they saw was the extension cord. All they saw was the bad side of the beating. There was no gentle parenting. You either did or you didn't. And if you didn't, you got your butt whooped by daddy. You got your butt whooped by mama. You got your butt whooped by whoever the neighbor was, because back then the village was involved in disciplining your child. Now you can't nobody even talk to your child.
Right.
You can't, like you said, you thought about you have thought about talking to the sister who is talking to her child in a disrespectful manner, but because she's making you look bad as a Black woman. But the first time you step to her, even in a gentle way, she taking your head off. 2 situations for me personally. A woman down the street, her child was running around and was just kind of all in my driveway into my backyard. You don't know where your child at. I go down there and knock on the door and I'm talking to her. She was like, she snatched up her child and, slammed the door. And I'm thinking that she was finna come back outside and say something because I'm just explaining to her how, your child is in my backyard. I don't know you and my children are not there, but I'm trying to understand, why is your baby? Like, this is a baby. It can't be 4 or 5, maybe 6, just up and down. And there's no one to see the child. So anyway, long story short, she went off and told somebody else that she cursed me out and she did so and so. I was like, that's so not true, But then I have people that I have seen, and I've had people in my family that I have seen talk to their children like that. And because it was my family, I have told them, like, they use the BITCH. They say that, and I'm not that person. Like, they play with each other like that. I don't do that. Like, I don't, before Islam, before I came into the nation, before all of these other things that was going on in my life, I could have been the worst person on the street, bug, thug, whoever you want to call me, but we didn't play those games. Not me. You didn't call me this and then think that me and you was getting ready to still have a joking, civilized conversation like me and you buddies. No, that's a fighting word to me. So as long as you have that understanding, that we talk, that's how we talk. No, don't put me in that conversation as long as you have the conversation like that. But I've had someone that called their child the B word, probably kicked them, put them in a closet. I'm just like, why are you doing that?
That because is way too much.
That's not how you treat your child. What you gonna do? I'm just like, you can't do that. Then I had another situation where the woman grabbed the child by the hair, swung the child around. And I said, you need to pick on somebody that's gonna fight you back.
No, you know what our problem is? Brother, years ago, Brother Ishmael, or was it Rasul? One of them said, post-traumatic slave syndrome.
That's it,
and that's our problem. We how they say post-traumatic with the soldier syndrome. No, we have post-traumatic slave syndrome. We learn because we watch what worked, what master inflicted on us.
That's right.
My father's father came directly off the plantation. He was beaten by master. So we just kept on going with what was instilled in us. Because if we, the way master did us, if we spoke out of turn, he beat us. If we weren't on time, he beat us. If you didn't move fast enough, he beat us. So we just basically took that and continued it because this is what was trained in us on how to handle each other. But we never were taught proper love and understanding, care, concern, respect. So this is the reason why we do this. But once again, am I going to say that the Bible did not say that we have a gentle parenting situation if I'm raising thugs? No, it did not say that. So I am going to say we did implement spare the rod, spoil the child. It is an hour. And my sister used to be a party animal, but she getting tired over there. I see her. She got them babies. She been dealing with and tackling all day. I know it's late on you guys' time in neck of the woods, and my neck of the woods is just 6. We about to turn up right here. It's the turn up time. I thank each and every one of you. We love everyone. Sister Michelle, we completely thank you for your interaction today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
May He heal your wounds from post-traumatic slave syndrome. All I can tell you, sisters, that we serve a true living God. We serve a living God that has given us a divine example to where we can remove these things from ourselves. And you forgave your father. And I thank
you. That's so beautiful. All praises due to Allah, Sister Michelle. That is huge.
Because if he understood better, he would have did better.
Yeah.
But the blessing of us is that we learned to do better because we accepted and took into ourselves early in our lives by the grace of the Lord. Thank you. To where we can change from niggas to gods. We packed up our bags and we don't live in Niggerville no more. We striving not to be there. Sometimes we keep visiting. Stop visiting Niggerville.
Right.
Move away.
Just stay out of Niggerville.
That's right.
But we continue visiting Niggerville, and that's why we have the problems we have. But my dear sisters, please tell everybody where we can find you. Everyone has something going on, and go give your handle so we can go get our head wrapped with our sisters soon.
Okay. Mariam, you want me to go or you want to go? Okay, I'll go. My name is Monique Muhammad. I am out of Muhammad Mosque number 12. That is the the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. My Instagram, all my social media handles are Monique the Rap Star. I am a head wrap specialist and accessory stylist. I'm hosting a virtual head wrapping class June 25th, which is on a Sunday at 6 p.m. Please sign up. Send me an email at moniquetherapstar@gmail.com to RSV your spot. It is $15. That's the lowest that it will ever be. I also have my own cleaning company, a Cleaning Woman LLC. I'm on all social media platforms. I do house calls. I do if you need advice, cleaning hacks. I do all of that. I'm on all social media platforms. And you already know about Cover Me Cute. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, KOVERMEKUTE. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube. All right, Mariam, it's your turn.
I am Sister Mariam, your sister of 3+ decades. I am Mary Magdalene on Facebook, Miss Mac 10 on Twitter and Instagram. Sequential Beauty, your sister Stitches and Alterations, your sister LLC. I am
what city?
Student Minister Muhammad Mosque number 1 under our local student minister, Minister Troy Muhammad, and we are in Detroit. This is Mecca. right here. That's right, Mecca. Hello. Okay, and I just want to tell you all, thank you very, very much. YouTube is Cover Me Cute. My YouTube personal is The Late Night Seamstress. Yes, because I do sew at 2:00 in the morning. That's peaceful. That's what I do. So maybe you can catch me there. Maybe not. Thank you. And I'm going to hand it on over here to Granny. She thinks she's on my side right here. There she goes.
You all know me. My name is Miss Mahogany, aka Granny. I am your local resident granny. I now figure out my life. Every day is something new. We have a sewing class. Our first live sewing class, all praise to Allah, is June 17th. Please log in and get your seats. These seats are going fast. I'm not trying to teach 100 people at one time because I want you to learn how to sew. Our live classes in Los Angeles, California. West side is the best side. I'm from the West Coast, the best coast. Mosque number 27 by the way of Mosque 54, Compton. Yes, I do be banging on my region. We West Coast to Best Coast. You can see me at Mosque 54 in Compton. Come hang out with your granny. Let them know I sent you. Also, too, we have a Zoom class. If you don't live in my hood, that means you don't live in the Best Coast. You can follow and come on our Zoom class. Our Zoom class is 6:25. It is June 25th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. my time, not y'all time. My time. So 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. my time.
What's your time, Granny? It's Pacific.
Pacific time. West Coast to the Best Coast. Pacific time. Come hang out with us. We have 3 hours of fun-filled things put together for you. It's not a one-time class. This class will be continuous. You will also be able to learn. Our mission is to teach you how to sew a full outfit before we go give you to buy and go do another session of people. But other than that, you can reach us at Crowns by Mahogany. Crowns with a K, KROWNS by Mahogany. Crowns by Mahogany is our hair wrap and accessories page, modest clothing, and also now our sewing classes. Please continue to pray for each one of us. May Allah bless each one of you. We ask that you please share. Like, and share. And please, not only like and share, comment. Give us your feedback. Help us to see what we're doing good, what we're not doing. And we thank you for your feedback. We love it. It helps us to grow. It helps us to see. And if you need something from each one of us and it comes in a monetary form, you like to share with your little monetary ways, hit us up. We thank you for donations. We like them too. We don't mind the stuff that jingle. We'd rather have the one that folds.
No, she did not just do Coming to America.
Is get our website. Our website will be something that we are going to put together for not just for us, but the whole Cover Me Cute crew, which is each and every one of you who have businesses also. If I become a billionaire, I do not want to be on my ship by myself. I want you to be on my yacht, but I want you to be able to afford to be on my yacht. Don't be coming with your hand out. But I will see you all later. May you all have a fabulous day. And remember, trust me, when you look good, you feel good. So make yourself feel good at all times. Have a fabulous day. Bye.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Peace, Cover Me Cute.
Hold on.